Hey YouTube, this is the Robinhood investor. Hope you had a great week of trading. As always, I really appreciate your support. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn about investing, subscribe to this channel. Today I'm going to talk about Facebook stock, ticker symbol FB, currently priced at $225 per share. Past year, up 23%. Past 5 years, up 180%. So definitely a high growth stock. There are times when it dips very hard, very volatile, but overall long-term trend has been upward. Now taking a look at market capitalization, $641 billion. PE ratio is 31.4 and dividend yield is 0, which means they're reinvesting all profits back into growth. Scrolling down a bit, taking a look at the analyst ratings, 84% give it a buy, 12% give it a hold, and 4% give it a sell. And that's based on 50 analyst ratings. Scrolling down a bit, you can see that the earnings, Q1 20, relatively lower than the previous quarters. Taking a look at the actual press release. So you look at the financial highlights, you can see that the revenue, you can see up 17% for advertising, other up 80%. Now total revenue was up 18% year over year. That's very impressive for a company this size. Now in terms of total costs and expenses, up 1%, which is also impressive because they were able to increase the revenue by so much without increasing much of their expenses. Now, in terms of income from operations, you can see that's up 78%. Provision from income taxes, down 9%. And for net income, that was up 102%. Diluted earnings per share, up 101%. So these are very impressive growth numbers year over year for a company this size. Scrolling down a bit, you can see some of the other highlights. So in terms of Facebook's daily active users, were 1.73 billion on average for March 2020, an increase of 11% year over year. Monthly active users were 2.6 billion people as of March 31st, 2020, an increase of 10% year over year. So it's impressive to see the double-digit growth even for a company this size. And Facebook is definitely a growth story. They don't pay any dividends, but you can see their capital appreciation increase steadily quarter over quarter and year over year. Now for family daily active people, DAP was 2.36 billion on average for March 2020, an increase of 12% year over year. Family monthly active people, that was 2.99 billion as of March 31st, 2020, an increase of 11%. Capital expenditures, including principal payments on finance leases, were 3.66 billion for the first quarter 2020. Cash and cash equivalents, this is definitely something you want to have, especially during these times. That was 60.29 billion as of March 2020. Let's see, does it have any? Yeah, so that's a pretty sizable amount of cash that they can dip into during these times when their revenue may not be as high or they need to spend more to go through these times. Now, in terms of headcount, you can see that's 48,268 people as of end of quarter, an increase of 28% year over year. So they're definitely growing, not just on the financials, but also headcount, so more employees to execute on some of their goals. So the business has definitely been impacted by recent circumstances. So engagement in terms of metrics, you can see that there's more people using their products. Revenue, they experienced some reduction because there's a decrease in advertising, which is expected because when businesses are not doing well, then they would probably cut advertising. For total expenses, they expected to release operational expense savings in certain areas such as travel, events, marketing, as well as slower headcount growth in our business functions. What else? CapEx are significant investments in infrastructure over the past 4 years have served us well during this period of high user engagement. So they definitely invested well in their business, their technology, their platforms, and it's definitely paying off. Tax rates, they expect full year 2020 tax rate will be in the high teens, although they may see fluctuations in the quarterly rate depending on financial results. So in terms of the actual slides, that provides a visual of the growth quarter over quarter. So you can see first slide, daily active users. You can see ever since Q1 2018, steady growth from 1.4 billion users all the way to 1.7 billion in Q1 2020. For daily active users / monthly active users, Q1 2020, 67%. Now for monthly active users, same story. You can see that ever since Q1 2018, almost 2.2 billion, steadily increasing quarter after quarter, up to 2.6 billion in the most recent quarter. Now for average revenue per user, we want this to be increasing because we want them to be able to, Facebook to be able to generate more revenue per user. So for worldwide, you can see that it's higher year over year from $6.42 to $6.95, so almost $7 per user worldwide. Slightly lower than the previous quarter, but year over year, that is growth. Now the highest revenue per user in terms of territory is US and Canada. So America, you can see that's $34.18. So higher year over year relative to $30.12. For Europe, you can see that's $10.64 for the most recent quarter, higher than 1 year ago. Asia Pacific, $3.06, which is higher than the Q1 2019 of last year. Rest of the world, $1.99, which is slightly higher than 1 year ago. So highest revenue, as I mentioned, US and Canada, and overall, worldwide, it definitely increased in revenue per user. Family daily active people, DAP, you can see that ever since Q4 2018, steadily increasing quarter after quarter. Very impressive numbers. And you can see that DAP or MAP is at 79% for the most recent quarter. For family monthly active people, this is in billions. Also, same story, quarter after quarter since Q4 2018, steadily increasing. And the most recent quarter, 2.99, almost 3 billion. Very impressive how many active users they have on their platforms. Now, family active revenue per person, you can see that Q4 2018, $6.52, and in Q1 20, $6.03. So slightly lower ever since 2018. For revenue, this is in millions. Q1 2018, 11.9 billion, almost 12 billion. Q1 20, 17.7 billion. So you can see quarter after quarter, very steady growth. Revenue per Facebook user, geography-wise. So Q1 20, you can see that US and Canada make up 8.5 billion. Europe makes up 4.2 billion. Asia Pacific, 3.2 billion. Rest of the world at 1.6 billion, or a total of 17.7 billion. So advertising revenue by Facebook user, geography, you can see that same thing, quarter after quarter, steadily increasing, and US and Canada being the largest in terms of market share. For expenses, you can see that even though it's slightly increasing, it's actually not that drastic increase relative to the growth. So you can see that they're very efficient with how they invest in their company, their technology, their platforms, and they're very good with how they manage their capital. Income from operations, operating margin, this is impressive. So you can see that it's steadily at 40 something percent. Most recent quarter, it dipped probably because they're trying to handle misinformation and other issues on their platform, but it's still impressive to see that double digit 33% in the most recent quarter. Effective tax rate, most recent quarter 16%, which is a lot lower than some of the other quarters. It could be 30%, 40%, so 16% is very good. Net income, you can see 4.9 billion Q120, slightly lower than the previous quarter, but higher than 1 year ago. Diluted earnings per share, EPS, $1.71 for the most recent quarter, but greater than 85 cents from Q1 2019. So that's all for this video. What are your thoughts on Facebook? Comment down below. Remember to use my referral links below. Both of us get $20 for using personal capital or free stock for using Robinhood. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn more about investing, subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.